Hey guys and girls, and welcome to the fourth installment of this V8 conversion on my little 106 Hilux. Today I'm going to be doing the radiator and get some of the wiring into the cab. I'm going to hook all the plugs up to in the engine bay, and I might do some testing on the ones that come out from the truck, see what's what. Hopefully I can get a temperature gauge sender and a couple of other things. I've got to get a couple of positives out there, like switching powers, one for the fan that I'm going to run that constant. I'm going to remain with the 106 radiator, so I'm going to try and keep everything as 106 as I can besides the engine and gearbox. So that means the wiring, the radiator, stuff like that. Because it's a V8, not a diesel, I'm going to run the fan constant. I run the fan constant in all of my cars. So yeah, stay tuned and we'll see what kind of schmozzle I make out of this. Hey, how exciting.
So now just let me get it.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm the one to get it, bruh. I swear to God I'll get it, bruh. Hey, I ain't never giving up. Yeah, I never give up. I got this, man, I got it. I will not quit, I'm on it. Never rock it. Got the block lit, I'm toxic. Spitting logic.
Alright, so I've got my 16-inch fan here, as you can see. I bought a 16. I think the standard clutch fan is only 14-inch, but I've got this, and I've already got the radiator sitting in the car. So if we have a look, you can sort of see the gap there. I'll zip tie that wire in eventually, but if I put this down here, plenty of room. And then I'm going to run that bottom hose. I've got a 180 silicone joint, and I'm going to bring it up the side of the radiator and into there. And then I have a WRX hose actually that comes off here and joins up with this one, so that's all one piece. And I've got some universal hose up the back for the heater. So let's get into dummying this pipework up before we go fastening everything. Hey. Alright, so I've bought myself two aluminium 90 bends, one aluminium straight pipe, and 180-degree silicone bend. I usually go for black silicone, but I usually go for blue, sorry, but I bought this in black because I want to try and keep it factory under there. So my goal is to put one of these into here, have that as your extension piece in the middle, and have this coming off and back out towards the engine there. So we will start to cut scribe. I might not even need that. I know this is pretty long. I might get away with just sort of welding the two like that, which would be nice because I do like to keep my bends for all this sort of stuff. So I might just, I'll bring the radiator out and I might just chop the end off that, because I know that that's going to go on and I know that that's going to fit, and then all I've got to do is just dodgy it up myself after that. Yeah, so we'll go put that on. We'll shoehorn one of these in, and then we'll shoe this on. Try and get this camera adjusted. The problem is you can't see what you're doing. Alright, so if I put that one on there, like, actually, I'll put that on first. Get it in there, hey? Didn't even have to spit on it then. Alright, get that on there. And that'll sit on there like that, see? That's the original, that's the game plan. Might just take this off so you guys can see. See, get it up there like that. All clamped on. I'll probably get away with that other piece just using the 290s, I think. But we'll see what happens, eh? Ooh, just needs to be cut down a little bit. Hey, that's almost a match made in heaven, isn't it? So I think if I just cut them down, I think if I just take the ends off them, or maybe a bit more, about there, if I can get that, like that, I will be laughing. Alright, I will get a Sharpie and mark it. If the girls haven't run off with it. Got a blue one. Alright. Got my mark, and now we'll cut it. See what happens. Looks like I won't need that. Sensational. My shed is such a mess. Alright, so I'll take this out there. I'll mark it on where I want it, and what sort of angle. And then I'll bring the whole assembly in, radiator and all. And we will TIG weld this up. And we will secure it to the radiator. And then I will bring the fan in, we'll secure that as well. And then we will be ready to rock and roll, put it in, I guess. Might actually end up being quicker than I thought, but that's famous last words. You know how that always works. You know, say it goes right and then it doesn't. So alright, so I've got the two pieces, cut one down. I've got a blue mark there and a blue mark there on where it should be. I got myself a bit of scrap that I had laying around just to line it up because it is slightly offset. So just get that to line up there. like that. Fun part as always is getting the earth clamp on one of these and getting it to actually stay there. I hate this, I really do. There you go, look at that, like I bought one. Line these up like that. It's just not coming high enough, is it? Stack it and make it work. There you go, look at that, spot on. That's it there, welded up. That's where it moved on me, but I mean, I don't think that's too bad. All things considered, like I said, I'm no pro, but that'll get us out of trouble. One pipe made, ready to go. So I'll let that cool down, and then we will get to the assembly of the radiator and the fan and everything. Alright, so we've got our pipe made up. I've measured it, I've already put the black silicone piece on. I had to cut the top down, and I just put a couple of tacks on it to keep the hose on there. So I did think it was going to make it, but it didn't, but that's okay. So we'll slide a hose clamp on for now. I'll point that in the other direction. Anything to make it easier to get off. We'll put that on. Now for our radiator. Standard 3-core brass jobby from Toyota out of a 106 Hilux. I'm hoping to get that to sit there. That's how we want it, just like that. So, a couple of sockets I prepared earlier. Another hose clamp. So I gave this a good flush out before I did all this, just so everyone's aware, before I get 40,000 comments saying why didn't I flush it out. Like that. So hold that there, it clears everything, doesn't it? Yep. Very good. Eventually I'll put some P-clips on here, but to hold it for now, I've got some cable ties, wherever I put them. They're the ones for the radiator, for the fan, sorry. Here we go. These jobbies just stick in the hole. Stick in the hole, mate. Be good if you did it the right way around. Alright. Like that. Lovely jubbly. Alright. Now for our next trick is putting the fan on. So I've got the cable ties here. Which has everything. And the fan. Which will go about there. I could have sworn this had legs with it, but it clearly doesn't. Alright, so we've got the fan sitting there. I'm going to just use one of these and I'm just going to punch the holes through and push it through the radiator so I can then flip it over and pull it all the way through. It should be alright, hopefully. You're probably going to ask why I'm not running a shroud, and well, I never run them, to be totally honest. I got a drag car that I don't run a shroud on. It's got the same fan as this actually, no shroud. As well as I had a supercharged V6 Commodore that I ran like this. Once again, same fan, no shroud. Never ran a shroud on any of them, and I never had any problem with it because I always ran the fan constantly. So it's just sort of what I do now. And there we go, there's one radiator assembly ready to go in. So, certainly looks the goods. I might just snip these off. And we will drop that in, eh? Get it ready for wiring. Alright. Alright, so I've got my radiator here. I've painted it all up so it's not so bright, doesn't look so intrusive. Like I said, I want to try and keep it factory looking underneath the engine bay, just in case I get pulled up. So, here in Australia, coppers love to defect a good car enthusiast. So, we'll slip this in, button it up. I've got some light machining oil there to help along with it all. And we'll see how we go. Slip this down in here. Like that. Plenty of room. I've got some old hose here to bridge it, which is what we want. Cut it right at the edge of the venue. Alright. It's so slippery now. That's that on. We'll button the radiator to the car now. Alright, there's the wiring for the fan there. Put that on there. That's all buttoned up. Now just for the top hose. So I'll get my hose here. I've already cut it down to somewhat match it. As you can see, it won't be a perfect fit, but it'll get us out of a pickle until I can find something a bit more appropriate. Kids are screaming as always. Hose clamps, Chris. Like that. Hey, one Subaru hose fitted. And we will fill it with water just to make sure it doesn't leak. I mean, it's not going to be any different, like it's not going to be the ultimate test till it's under pressure. Alright, that's top and bottom hoses on. So now I'll get everything ready for the heater hose and we'll get into that. Alright, heater hoses. I might just climb in here for this one. So we've got 2 ports down here, and there's 1 port here and 1 port here. So this is the old Hilux hose that I'm going to just put in there. I'll bend that down and around to go on. This is just a piece of straight piece that I bought from Repco. I'm just going to put that on there and bridge it down and around like that. So do the old machining oil and squeeze them on, I guess. This one will be interesting to do up, I think. Put it that way. And this one we'll do that way. I'll do this one first just because I think it's going to be really difficult to get into them. So the other one should be a bit easier. There we go, 2 heater hoses on. So that'll do us. This is cooling, and I'll have the electrical one up soon, surely. Alright guys, be safe.